Welcome to the Growing Your Business podcast. This is the show that dives into the big question, what's in it for me, for both the business and its customers? On each episode, we sit down with a business owner or leader to uncover their why, their values, and the stories that drive them to grow their business. This episode is sponsored by Russ Birch, commercial banker with Frost Bank in Plano, Texas. Joining me today on the Growing Your Business podcast is Sophea Whiteman with NeuroLocker. How you doing, Sophea?
Good. It's great to be here. How are you doing?
Very, very well. I want to know everything about NeuroLocker. So let's talk about first what you do, and then we'll go into the history of your business. So what is NeuroLocker?
Awesome. So the basics is that NeuroLocker is a all-in-one productivity tool built by neurodivergent people for neurodivergent people that basically puts all of the different productivity tools all in one spot to make it just a little bit easier on lots of just neurodivergent people trying to get through life.
So what made you start this company?
So growing up, I always knew that my brother was kind of treated differently by teachers and other students all throughout school. I kind of got like a first-person perspective of it because we actually got to go to the same high school. Oh. And so we overlapped by 2 years because he's 2 grades younger than me. And so when I finally got the chance to just kind of be there for him on a more daily basis at a more consistent time where he could come to me when there were bullies or when he was having problems, or just being able to have that connection already with some of the teachers that he was with, to be able to have that conversation with them and with him to be able to make sure that he actually was going to succeed in the classroom.
Yeah.
But some of the same teachers that were treating me like the A student that I was were treating him so differently just because his brain works differently.
Yeah.
And because they couldn't fully understand it. And so when I saw that, I always wanted to do something. It kind of made me want to go into teaching. Mom kind of shut that down. And so I just went into college. I was like, okay, I'm going to go get a marketing degree and I'll figure it out from there. And then I got to college and I got to take an entrepreneurship class. And part of the class was actually coming up with a company and creating a pitch for the company. And we actually, UTA does something really cool in their business program, and it's basically like a Shark Tank for the College of Business.
Cool. And
there's a video recording round and there's a live round.
Oh, wow.
And all we had to do was participate for the video round. But if we ended up making it to the live round, then we just got an automatic A in the class. And out of 79 submissions, our company was one of 10 that got to go to the live round and compete for actual money for the company.
Wow.
And so I was telling my mom about it, and she was like, hey, you've always wanted to do something to help these kids. Do you want to do it? And I was like, well, I mean, we're already here. Might as well. Mm-hmm. And so that's just kind of where it started, and it's just grown from there.
And when was that? How long have you been in business?
So we fully formed the company and got the corporation label in April of 2024. But we started working for the assignment for the pitch back in January, February 24. So wow. A little over 2 years now, actually.
And you've accomplished a lot in that time.
We have.
Before you came in today, I was looking at your website, and you offer an array of information and products and services. So let's walk through, how did you start, and how did you, in that short time, and how did you get to where you are now with all these different things you offer? Like, what was the first thing you started with, the aha idea?
So the first thing was the actual product for having an app or a website version to where all of these different tools could be in one place.
Great.
And we actually built off of that, and we did storyboarding with some development companies, chose a company, and they finished the storyboard and the sitemap, and they actually got us a no-code version where we could actually go and show and use pictures of what the app would actually look like while they were building the code version for the pitch competition. And wow. So in going through that, it kind of helped as well for us to make it just kind of seem a little bit more real. Because, in the back of my head the whole time, I'm like, wow, I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. And then we were able to we actually won a decent amount of money in the first round. And then after that round, we had an accelerated course that they offered for all the winners of the competition. And they brought in somebody, I I forgot what company it was, but he was absolutely amazing. He's been in the entrepreneurship industry for years.
Yeah.
And so he had a lot of really good information, and it was a really good course and an amazing opportunity for us to just learn how to refine our pitch and find our voice and who we are to be able to go on to the second round of the competition.
Well, I mean, it all started because it was so personal,
Yes.
having your brother. And so there are a lot of people, and there's a debate even of what is neurodiversity, what is neurodivergent, and all those things, but you witnessed it firsthand in your brother. So how are you helping others now? I mean, and obviously, I imagine your brother's involved in some of your prototyping,
A little bit.
yeah, as in somebody that lives in that,
Yes.
that lives nearby, and so you have somebody to bounce that off of. But talk to me about some of your clients and some of the people that you're helping now through this app.
Yeah. First of all, it's lived experience.
Yeah.
My brother has autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia. We call ourselves like the alphabet soup of a family.
You bet.
And so it's lived experience turned into something that can help other people like him. And so everyone on the neurodivergent scale, autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, I've got OCD myself. And so it's just a mix of people. And we know it's not limited to that as well.
Sure.
But those are the people that we're focusing on, just to be able to help the learning curve for them, because we didn't have that. And so even if we can help just one person, just have a little bit of extra help where they might not have had it otherwise, that's the goal.
What's the best age for someone to get their child involved in this? Is it teen, younger? And what is your target start age?
So right now we're focusing on middle school, high school age, just because they have a little bit of a better understanding of like some of the things that they're going through, and they'll actually be able to help themselves a little bit more. But after that, just college age, and just our main target market is the parents of these kids, just because they understand it a little bit more, and
Sure.
so they would be a little bit more willing to at least try using the app. But as long as it just helps, but that is our main target market, is that middle school, high school age.
So I love that you started this from scratch a couple of years ago. Talk to me about growth. How are you growing, and are you finding new and interesting services and products as you grow? Like, what is the target for you?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, in researching it, you find out that there's a lot of people who are going through the struggle who you might not have otherwise known that were going through a struggle like this.
Yeah.
Just because it is a little bit personal, and so it is a little hard sometimes. But just in talking, everyone that we've talked to about this app and about what we want to do to help them, they either know somebody or they are somebody who could benefit from this. And so just getting that feedback all throughout the startup phases while we're coding it and working through beta testing right now, just knowing that there are people out there who can help. And even as you said, during the research, there's a ton that I learned.
Yeah.
Like I learned that 1 in 10 people have dyslexia in America. So it's the most common learning difference that there is. And so just knowing the scale of people that this could help, even if we can't reach that full scale, as long as it's just that one person that can benefit from this, that's just the thing.
And is your target to just make it a simple app on any, platform-wise? Are you targeting a certain platform, all of them? I know there are challenges with that.
Mm-hmm. Right now, we are in the process of creating a mobile app version and a web version.
Great.
Especially because Texas now has that law to where kids can't have their phones in class on with them. And so just having that website version that basically just mimics the phone version to where they can still use the app and get the benefit out of it, even if they can't have their phones. It's on iOS and on Android, and then obviously the web version.
That's terrific.
Stay with us. The Growing Your Business podcast will return right after this.
A woman in Austin was depositing a cashier's check at the bank, but she deposited it right into a storm drain. The frost banker found another way in. Time out! So he went into the hole, like a cave diver.
A real spelunker of the streets.
What about the check?
It's money in the bank.
Ka-ching!
Ka-chang.
Ready to amplify your brand's voice? At Blue Mike Studios, we transform your ideas into captivating podcasts and videos. Whether you're launching your own show or guest starring on ours, we've got you covered. From recording and editing to social media promotion. With state-of-the-art 4K video and crystal clear audio, your content will shine. We offer guest packages on our podcasts and offer segments from the show for you to share. Or let us help you build your own branded podcast with custom strategy, branding, and full production support. Visit BlueMikeStudios.com today and let your voice be heard. Please check our show notes for sponsorship links and additional details. Now, back to the Growing Your Business podcast with Buddy Broyles.
And I imagine you're looking at opportunities for people to help you in different ways. Through, I imagine, investment, but other collaborations. Tell me about both of those sides of the coin. What's going on there with business development?
So investment-wise, we are completely bootstrapped right now.
Yeah.
We use the winnings that we got from that pitch competition and then a little bit of initial investment on the owner's side.
Yeah.
And then just going from there, we're being very careful with how we use the money, but we're still obviously looking for investments. It's just a little bit difficult right now because we don't have that physical product.
Right.
But we have been looking into the investments and stuff. Lots of grants that we've applied for, looking at crowdsourcing and all of that as well.
I think in terms of other collaborations, because there are other organizations like yours, there are nonprofits and whatnot. Talk to me about people that you're reaching out to and are reaching out to you, not in that space.
So we actually have, we found a convention. It's called Neurodivergent,
Nice.
and we actually got tickets to it. And it's fully specialists and other people that are neurodivergent or who work with people who are neurodivergent. And they all just come together as a community in Austin and just talk and learn and get to know some of the things that people are going through and the opportunities that people have and the connections that they have. And so we actually were able to get tickets for that, and we'll be going to that in March of 2026.
Excellent.
To be able to get our name out there a little bit more. That's probably the main thing that we've found so far. But I mean, just talking to people, there's always somebody that knows something else or somebody else that might be able to help. Obviously, lots of research, just at different companies and different nonprofits. One of the things we actually want to do is part of my original idea when coming up for the app. I wanted to be able to have a safe space for these kids to be able to go where they can be themselves. And so once we have a little bit of money and we'll be able to actually spend some time focusing on it, we're actually going to build out a nonprofit and build a community center to where these kids can go and have that social connection with other people like them without feeling like they're being judged.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it's a judgment-free zone. Like, we lived it, we know what it's like, and we don't want anybody else to have to experience some of those things. And so that is one of our goals based on that.
That's terrific. And I imagine that'll be somewhere in the DFW area where you're located now.
Yes.
That's wonderful. What a great idea. What is the favorite part about what you do?
My favorite part about this is being able to do it with somebody who loves it just as much as I do.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom is my business owner, co-owner, but just being able to experience it and go through everything with somebody else who has this passion for it as much as I do, it just makes it so much easier and so much funner. That's
pretty great. In terms of people who know their child is different, where would you tell them to start to learn? What's the very first? I mean, imagine you have resources on your website. Walk me through how to get there and the things that you have learned and how they can get started on that journey.
I mean, obviously, our journey was a very long one.
Yeah.
We knew that my brother had ADHD from when he was very young. And my mom was always one of those moms where when she found that out, she researched everything so that she could be the advocate for him and what he needed at school. So she knew about a lot of resources going into it just from a quick Google search about what is ADHD, how can I help my child with that. So the basic questions, even if you just Google them or use the resources on our website, we're slowly adding more for each of the different types and being able to educate people. And that is one of the focuses we want to have, is being able to just educate people about the basics, about going into it a little bit more, what it's like living with it, how to help, how to interpret some of the things that they interpret differently. And so even if it's just a basic Google search, like that's one of the easiest ways for you to find out some information. Some great sources. I know there's, it's called add.org or something like that.
Okay.
That's a really good one.
And then in terms of, you've been on a learning journey, your whole family has.
Yes.
And every other family is in the same place, as we're all trying to learn as much as possible. So on your app, are you going to have like, I imagine, additional resources for greater research beyond and things like that? Are you looking for your app to be a hub for all of those things?
So the app, we're trying to keep it a little bit basic,
Okay.
just because we know that these kids, part of the focus was, we know that having 6 or 7 different productivity tools on your phone, it's very hard for them to even go into all of them, all the different ones, because they'll get distracted by something else on their phone.
Sure.
Or something else that pops up, or they just don't even open the apps because it's all so confusing and so much, and they don't know how to break it down to be able to actually get things done.
Right.
So we want to keep the app as focused on, here's what you need to do, here's how you can help, and all of that, for them to be able to actually be successful.
Yeah.
And then our website is going to be more of like that resource hub.
Excellent.
And then when we start that nonprofit, we're going to have sessions, and we'll do webinars and bring people in and just do lived experience stories so that we can educate people as much as we can.
How's your brother doing?
He's great. He is actually going through a welding certification right now, and he's having so much fun with it.
Wow.
And it was a little rocky through high school, just
sure.
because, I mean,
It's for everybody.
Everyone's rocky through high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
But now that he's had the opportunity to really grow into himself through college, he debated if he wanted to go to college in the first place.
Mhm.
But once he found something that he was very interested in, he kind of stuck to it. And just has kind of focused on that. And he's having so much fun with it.
So, Sophia, it's been very informative. I appreciate what you do. Look forward to the development of the app and the website, of course. And it's really great that you're doing this for a lot of people. All of the information you gave me throughout the show, we'll have in the show notes. So everybody just scroll down. If you're listening, it's pull it up there on whichever program you're listening to, and it should all be there. And reach out to Sophia, especially for people who are wanting to contribute in some way. There may be
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs out there that get the vision of
Absolutely.
what you're doing. So final thoughts for people who are just trying to understand.
Take it slow.
Hmm.
Take a deep breath. Things are going to happen. Research as they happen. That's how we did it. And obviously not everything is going to work for everybody. So just take your time and live.
That's wonderful. I'm really grateful for what you do. I love the idea. I love the entrepreneurship, and I'm really glad you came in to talk to us today.
Thank you for having me.
This episode was sponsored by Russ Birch, commercial banker with Frost Bank, Plano, Texas. Thank you for joining us today on the Growing Your Business podcast. Please see the show notes for links to our sponsors, our social media, and to learn more about today's guest.